Hello everyone, this is Drew with Drew Drives at Grubbs Family Dealerships, and today let's go for a drive in this 2023 Volvo XC40 B5 Plus Dark Theme. Pretty nice little SUV right here. It's an entry-level Volvo luxury SUV. You have the XC40, XC60, and XC90, and you also have the C40, which is electric. Yeah, this one basically, it's basically the entry-level model. You have 247 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque, 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder. You have Apple CarPlay in the screen right there. Pretty standard Volvo interior. The steering wheel in these are different. They're like squared off instead of being like more circular as other Volvo models. You do have the Order Sweden crystal gear shifter, but it's smaller. It's a bit different than you find in the XC60 and XC90 equipped with this, but I like it. I love this crystal gear shifter. It looks awesome. You have a 360-degree camera system in this vehicle too. Pretty good. And what I find interesting is that these come with a trash can. That's a little trash can right there, which is kind of cool. And you have a wireless charging tray, as you see my phone charging on it. And these don't have the switch to turn on the car. It's a start-stop button. You have the Harman Kardon sound system in this car. I don't know if this you can get Bowers & Wilkins in this one, not quite sure. And you have like this interesting material. The XC40 has like very interesting materials throughout the car. Silver exterior, nice looking wheels. It's the B5 Plus all-wheel drive. Here's the trunk, and here are the rear seats. Might be a little hard for me to get in and out of this, but yeah, it's a bit cramped back here, but makes sense. It is a small SUV, but I do like how it has a panel sunroof in a small SUV. That's a nice feature. Let's go for a drive. There's no sport mode or anything. It's just there's just an off-road mode, which I guess is just driving on like gravel or something for this car. I find it interesting that some of these regular Volvo SUVs have an off-road mode, because like these are not really even when any SUV that's not like an actual off-road SUV has an off-road mode, like who's gonna really like go on rocks on these? I guess that really just means that it's just to drive on gravel or a little bit of or like a dirty road in the event that you have to do so. Yeah, I really like the Google integration in these Volvos in the screen and the gauge cluster. It's like a full Google setup, and I like the Google gauge cluster that you'll see in Volvos after like I think 2021, because the old gauge cluster was kind of laggy, but the new one's not like that at all. Decent acceleration. I like the steering. The steering feels heavy, which I didn't expect. It feels heavier than some other Volvos. The XC60 and XC90 have really light steering. The steering feels kind of heavy, which is good. You have more feedback when you're driving, essentially. Seats are pretty comfortable. One thing I can't figure out is how to turn off the auto start stop in a Volvo, because I personally am not a big fan of that feature in any car, but I can't figure it out. I don't know if you can actually turn it off in this car or in Volvos or not, because I've never been able to figure it out. But yeah, I mean, this acceleration's pretty smooth. Someone who's gonna buy an XC40 probably isn't looking for all like high performance or whatever. I mean, that's not what it is. But it has more than enough pickup for daily driving. Like I put my foot down and it'll definitely accelerate a bit, so that's a good thing. But yeah, as I said, the most surprising thing to me is the heavy steering, because a lot of Volvos don't have any kind of weight to the steering at all. This one does. And I've driven another XC40 and it was pretty similar. I think that's cool that it has that. But yeah, the interior is pretty simple. Of course, Volvo interiors are pretty minimalistic, which I like. The same interior design's been out for a really long time though. I'm excited to see what the 2025.5 Volvo XC90 is going to look like, which is coming out in 1 or 2 months. So I can't wait to get a video on that to see how the new bigger screen looks. It's still pretty much the same interior, except like the screen is bigger in the center. It's not like a little tablet thing. It's like a big screen. Turning radius is pretty good. And you also have blind spot alert, of course. One thing that's I always wonder what the little plastic pieces in Volvo windshields. Apparently that's for like if you get like a parking ticket, or if you have a parking ticket or like something, instead of leaving it on the dash, you can just attach it on that, which I think is really smart. I've always wondered what that was, but I was watching one of Doug DeMiro's videos on a Volvo, and then that's what he said it was. So I was like, dang, that makes sense, because I was like, what is that? Because I thought that it was just like a piece that was left over in one Volvo, and then when I saw it in every single one, I was like, what is that thing right there? So yeah, I like how Volvos have like a little bit of little cool features like that, small things, because those little details are what are interesting in a lot of cars to me. Yeah, seems like that blind spot alert's working. It's pretty good. It turns orange to let you know that there's somebody in your blind spot. Well, let's look around the infotainment real quick. Pretty simple. You have YouTube, that's interesting. So I guess when you're at a stop, you can use like a hotspot or something and use your YouTube. Parking brake right there. This is the auto hold. The trash, let's look at that trash can. You see that? I like that. You can just throw some trash in here and then remove it. Fits right back in there. That's so smart. You know, you have like gum or something like that, you just throw it right in there. That's perfect. Great idea by Volvo on that. And I like this little Swedish flag on Volvos. And then like open port wood trim is quite nice. But yeah, this is a pretty nice small SUV. If you're looking for a small luxury SUV, this would be a great car for you. But anyways, that is about it. Thank you for watching another video of Drew Drives. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and be sure to check out the link to Grubb's family dealerships in the description below if you would like to shop for new and pre-owned Volvos like this one.